Yeah, but are you in the caucus revolt? Or do you still believe that Justin Trudeau is doing a great job?
Despite such hardship, it is worth celebrating that we have not reported any injuries or casualties. Around 358 structures, or roughly 30% of the town, was lost to the fire.
So, Minister, documents obtained by suggest that Minister Guilbeault's department was working against your mandate. A senior official at Parks Canada wrote in an email months before the Jasper wildfires, and I quote, "At what point do we make the organizational decision to cancel prescribed burns in Western Canada?" Then the official stated, and I quote, "Political perception may become more important than actual prescription windows."
But you've come in here, Minister, with quite a lot of bravado. You've talked about the great job that your government's done, that Jasper is the most prepared town for a fire, and yet 1/3 of the town was allowed to burn down. Nearly $1 billion worth of damage. 2,000 people are homeless. Do you have any humility, Minister?
Mr. Guilbeault, knowing that there is 20 water trucks and 50 firefighters being turned away in Jasper.
20 fire trucks, 50 firefighters, not allowed to engage the fire.
Around 70% of the town was saved. Years of preparation, force management, simulated evacuations, and firefighting efforts paid off.
Can you explain to Canadians the abuse of taxpayer money? Okay. Alexa Lavoie for Ribbon News, and I'm currently in the parking lot of Cosmos Laurier in Quebec City because Steven Guilbeault is here tonight and is holding an event with some of his supporters. I came all the way here because Mr. Guilbeault have to answer some of the questions. First of all, as you know, there is right now a Liberal MP who signed a document asking for Justin Trudeau to resign. And I wanted to know if not only is a part of the caucus revolt, but if he still believes that Justin Trudeau is doing a great job as Prime Minister.
Prime Minister is trying to distract from the fact that he has an ongoing revolt in his caucus looking to overthrow him.
Secondly, I wanted to do a follow-up of what happened in Jasper. As you know, government knew about the risk of fire for multiple years, but nothing had been done so far.
Minister, in 2017 and in 2018, in multiple letters sent to your predecessor, Catherine McKenna, Minister at the time, Ken Hodges and Emil Began, who are forestry scientists, warned your government that Parks Canada was not capable of preventing this fire, that the actions that they had taken to date were not capable of preventing these forest fires. They said it was a matter of when, not if. Why did Parks Canada fail to take the actions necessary to prevent this devastating wildfire?
I respectfully disagree with the characterization of your question.
And we heard a news recently that not only 20 water trucks were turned away, but also 50 firefighters.
And you were told specifically that you could not access, and you were told specifically by Parks officials to not engage in fighting the fire in Jasper. Did I hear you say that correctly?
We were able to use water from Pyramid Lake, but not from Athabasca River, and we were not allowed to engage the fire.
20 fire trucks, 50 firefighters, not allowed to engage the fire.
And I wanted to know if it was to hide the fact that the fire hydrants were improper in the town site.
In your testimony, you said that the hydrants in Jasper National Park are not the same as the hydrants that are used virtually everywhere else in British Columbia and Alberta. Did I hear that correctly?
That is correct.
And if not, why then they turned them away? And my last question, of course, was regarding the recent controversy around Circle Capital. So for some people who are not aware, Mr. Guilbeault worked as an advisor for 10 years and he still have some share in the company. The company received $200 million in subsidies from the Green Slush Fund.
The Environment Minister is already under fire for his $30 billion carbon tax cover-up. He was a lobbyist for Cycle Capital. Cycle Capital companies got more than $200 million from the Liberal Green Slush Fund. Wow. Now we learn he is still a big shareholder in Cycle Capital. And since becoming Environment Minister, Cycle Capital companies have gotten another $17 million from the Green Slush Fund. Liberal insiders getting rich on taxpayer money, a carbon tax cover-up, the Environment Minister profiting from the Green Slush Fund sleaze. When will Liberal corruption end?
I want him to explain explain to Canadians about the abuse of taxpayer money to benefit him and his liberal friends. I tried to ask a couple of questions. You will see my full interaction. He probably came all the way here in Quebec to have this event with some French Canadians because, as you know, they are still polling second in the poll.
Quality of life matters. Affording groceries and the basics matters. Ottawa has a different agenda. Their energy production cap will cut your family's budget, which means less money in your wallet. We say let common sense prevail. Tell the feds at scrapthecap.ca.
So you need to understand that it's pretty hard to do our job. Not only we need to ask them a question, we need to chase them, film them, make sure they understand the question. And he tricked me. He switched to French because he knows I speak French. But of course, I wanted to ask the question in English because there is some people in the West Coast who are interested to know what happened with the firefighters in the water truck in Jasper. So stay tuned, look at the video, and please go over to our website to chip in, to encourage our work at rebelfieldreports.com. And now, let's check the interaction. Mr. Guilbeault, I have a question for you. I was just wondering, are you in the caucus revolt? Yeah, but are you in the caucus revolt? Or do you still believe that Justin Trudeau is doing a great job?
Pardon, je suis sur un appel.
Yeah, but you have the right to answer like some question, Mr. Guilbeault. Mr. Guilbeault, knowing that there is 20 water trucks and 50 firefighters being turned away in Jasper. Mr. Guilbeault, you have to answer. We know now that 20 water truck and 50 firefighters were turned away in Jasper. Was that to hide the improper fire hydrant in the town site? If not, can you explain why they were turned away, Mr. Guilbeault? Mr. Guilbeault, you worked for a company for 10 years as an advisor, and you still have share on it. And they received $200 million in subsidies, Mr. Guilbeault. Can you explain to Canadians the abuse? Can you explain to Canadians the abuse of taxpayer money? Okay, pouvez-vous expliquer aux Canadiens, Monsieur Guilbeault, l'abus de l'utilisation de l'argent des contribuables pour le donner à vos compagnies comme Circle Capital, qui vous avez donné 200 millions de dollars en subvention? Pouvez-vous leur expliquer l'abus de l'utilisation de cet argent-là? Pouvez-vous l'expliquer? Pour bénéficier non seulement à vous, mais 20 water trucks and 50 firefighters were turned away in Jasper during the fire. Was that to hide the improper fire hydrants on the town site, Mr. Guilbeault? And if not, why they were turned away, Mr. Guilbeault? Why you don't want to answer that question? Mr. Guilbeault, you worked for Circle Capital as an advisor for 10 years, Mr. Guilbeault.
Are you a right wing?
No, I'm not a right wing. I'm asking.
It's a good guy. I'm not of what you said. I don't know why.
I just want you to answer a quick question.
Alors, s'il te plaît.
Monsieur Guilbeault, à répondre à une petite question, ça va prendre une seconde, Monsieur Guilbeault. Monsieur, il y a 200 millions de dollars qui a été donné à une compagnie pour laquelle vous avez travaillé 10 ans comme advisor. Pouvez-vous juste répondre à cette question-là? Pourquoi? Et je vais quitter après que M. Guilbeault ait répondu. Oui, mais c'est une petite question, monsieur. Vous êtes capable de le dire.
Il y a plusieurs questions que vous avez posées.
Question, pourquoi vous donnez 200 millions en...
Moi, je suis ministre de l'Environnement.
Mais c'est...
Moi, je suis ministre de l'Environnement.
Oui.
Alors, regardez dans toutes les subventions qui ont été données par le ministre de l'Environnement, il n'y en a eu aucune qui sont allées à cette organisation-là.
Circle Capital, aucune.
Ministère de l'Environnement.
200 millions.
Aucune subvention.
Je pense que vous avez eu votre réponse.
Vous avez eu votre réponse.
Donc, pourquoi il y a une investigation en ce moment sur l'investissement qui a été donné de 200 millions sur Circle Capital?
J'ai répondu à votre question. Merci beaucoup.
Madame,
Mais je pense que vous auriez davantage à répondre à nos questions quand on est avec vous, au lieu de...
Je suis dans un événement privé, vous n'avez pas demandé d'entrevue, vous n'avez pas fait de demande.
Jamais que vous acceptez, M. Guilbeault.
J'ai répondu à votre question. Merci
Est-ce
beaucoup.
que vous acceptez habituellement nos invitations?
C'est un événement privé, puis à ce que j'ai compris,
La prochaine fois, je vous invite à répondre à nos demandes d'entrevue.
D'appeler les autorités. Je suis désolé, madame, je dois vous demander de quitter le restaurant.
Merci, bonne soirée, M. Guilbeault. We are doing our job as independent journalists. We are getting blocked, censored, of course, because they don't want to answer our question. So I invite you to rebelfearreports.com. On this website is our website to keep the light in at Rebel News. So chip in what you can, encourage our journalism, make sure we are bringing those politicians accountable of their action. So please go over rebelfearreports.com and chip in what you can. Thank you.